So a couple of years ago, my team member Jona, who's been working with me for 11 years now, it was New Year's, right after New Year's, and I asked her what her New Year's resolution was, and she said it was to start our own virtual teams company. And I'm like, well, I teach meditation and write and podcast and all of that, put people to sleep. But what had happened was all of my meditation teacher friends kept asking me, hey, how do you do all this work? Who helps you out? How do you scale so much? You seem like you're everywhere. And I said, well, I have help. And so we would give them virtual assistants that Jona would find. She lives in the Philippines, so all of her friends. And then she was doing it so much, it started taking up a lot of our time. And so she said, let's create a company around it. And I was like, you know what? You're helping me build my dream. I'm going to help you build your dream. And that is how we started this company, Aligned Virtual Teams. Pretty cool. And now we've got a couple of dozen virtual assistants. And every one of them, I think, right now, except one, is a mom. And they all are now stay-at-home moms. They're work-at-home moms. They work from home and their schedules are flexible and they get to help creators, teachers like me, do their work. And it's such a cool win-win. It's affordable. They're super talented and well-trained. And for historical reasons, people in the Philippines generally speak English really well and with an American accent because the U.S. kind of colonized the Philippines for a couple hundred years, for better, for worse. Also, we're not going into that, but the reality now is that you have a lot of really highly trained people who are good with technology that speak English really well. And so for that reason, it tends to create a good partnership because of the currency exchange for solopreneurs and early stage entrepreneurs who don't have a lot of money who want to hire somebody to help them. I've hired a lot of people in the US as well. I've hired in Europe, I've hired in Central South America. I have and I hire anywhere and everywhere I find somebody that's a good fit for a need that one of my businesses has. So I am in no way, shape, or form saying only hire in this one place. But because Jona is in the Philippines and she's running the company, that is where we find our help. And maybe we'll help you at some point. So I wanted to share the website. I do want to say that this isn't for everybody. So, for example, if you want some virtual assistant help, the best solution for you might just be hiring somebody on Fiverr or Upwork.com hour by hour if you just need a few small tasks done. We don't do that. We work with people who want consistent help over time. Like our ideal client is someone that's going to stay with us for years and grow. We're going to grow together. And the goal is for the person to make more money when they hire the virtual assistant, because now they have more time to do one-on-ones or teach or create whatever it is that they're meant to do instead of getting frustrated with all the technology tasks, which I don't know about you, but it gets me stuck sometimes and it's hard. So having help is essential when you want to grow in whatever way, shape, or form you're wanting to grow into as a creator teacher. So this is our site, alignedvirtualteams.com. Some of the people we worked with. It's my friend Ann Randolph, amazing writing teacher and improv teacher. Some industries that we've worked with. We mostly do wellness, but we've done law, we've done medicine, we do those now. Even in we're working with a coffee company. We help people in marketing, tech. My buddy had a AI firm that was using us. These are some pictures of our team. The team has grown since I was in the Philippines last, and we took those pictures. But this is us having lunch. It's really cool. I got to get a picture of Jona in here somewhere. who help you start it. And these are some of the areas that we focus on: social media management, email marketing, project management, list building, graphic design, video editing, customer service, bookkeeping, retreat planning, all of those things. And of course, we use AI in everything. Anything that helps us uh, be efficient, we use AI for. Okay. And then actually, I want to scroll back up and show you our process. So, whenever someone's like, hey, I might want help, what we do is we have them fill out a form, tell us what your business is. So I read forms and we said to the person, it's just not a good fit. Where that's too technical, or it's too short term, or it's outside of our scope of expertise. So after we read through the forms, we schedule a Zoom call with me and Jona or somebody else on the team, find out what the needs are of the person. And then if it's right, we go out and usually find at least two VAs and have them interview the VAs themselves on a second call, and then tell us which VA they prefer that would be a better fit. And if neither of them are good fits, we'll find more until we find the person a good fit. Like there's a personality fit, technical skill fit, uh, energetic fit, and then we get them started and onboarded. One of the cool things about using a service like this is if the person doesn't work, we can find somebody else. Whereas if you go on Upwork or Fiverr, I can't tell you how many months just going through people that were not good fits. It was a waste of time, money, energy, and I was super frustrated. So one of the goals of this is to help ease that frustration and make the process much easier. And then how many hours, how do you know how many hours you need a VA for to begin with? We don't always know out of the gate, but we can guess. So if someone's like, hey, I just need some social media management help, well, then maybe it's 40 hours a month, 10 hours a week, all the way up to, hey, I need, 40 hours a week of just doing work for my business. We have a VA that she spends 40 hours a week on the phone, customer service calling, and that's her sweet spot, and that's all she does. Now, one of the things is not all VAs can do every task. And so a lot of times someone will say, I want a VA for 10 hours a week, but can they do social media, graphic design, customer service, and backflips? It's like not every person has every skill. So you might need two VAs at 10 hours a week each, or you might need one VA that's just really, really good at one thing. So it's better to onboard slowly, do one thing at a time. When a solopreneur who's at their wits' end is like, I need someone to manage everything, you know, call my husband, make my schedule, order me food, build my website, things start getting out of control because they're out of control and they're not disciplined in their work. And so they spin the VA out with them. So it's important when you hire someone that there's guardrails and boundaries around your tasks and time, and that you know what you need accomplished. So what I usually do, and this is a page of all of the some of the team, what I usually do is have somebody make me a list of the things they dislike doing the most from 1 to 10 that they would love to hand off to a VA. And then we try to address those in order, in that order. So if you can get those top 3 off of your plate, how much better would your life be and would your business be growing? That's where I like to start. Okay. And then it's part of it is trial and error of just like, you know what, I thought I needed this, but I need that. I've learned. I thought I needed 30 hours a week. I need 10, or I thought I needed 10. I need 20. These things happen over time. You learn as you work with the VAs. Some of our team members made videos, so you can watch them here on our website. Pretty cool. Me and Bindi here did a nice talk on mindful business building. And I just love being able to provide help for people who are growing in whatever way they are with their business. And I love giving people jobs. It is one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done. I also do some charity work, but something about giving a person a job and then being able to pay for their family and live the life they want to live and work from home is really freaking cool. And everybody wins. So for example, Jonah, who's working with me, she provides for her family. I also have Jovi on my team. Maybe we could put up pictures. We've got Joanna, our bookkeeper. We've got Jessa, our video editor. I've got Joyce, who works with me 5 days a week, who helps me manage meditation school. Jenny, who works 5 days a week, who helps me manage the Energy Matters Academy. I mean, we have a whole team of people helping with all of these moving parts. And it's not easy managing that many people. So you have to create a structure and a system. And the VA might be part of the management team. So you might have a VA that is a project manager as well and helps you put everything in order. So, how do we do that? I like to use Asana, which is a great project management tool. There's also Monday.com and Trello. I like Asana for our team. We use it for social media management. We use that. We also use Metricool for social media management. And I let the VAs manage the managed project management tools. And I just pop in and out, look at it, make sure it's working okay. And everybody has a different way they want to communicate with their VA. As crazy as this sounds, me and Jonah talk every day and it's still over Skype. And we just Skype message, which is ending in about a month, or maybe when I put this episode up. So we're going to have to move over to WhatsApp and Slack. Slack is another great place. You can have your whole team on there and communicate with them. And if you're someone that just wants to be on your cell phone and just send messages, which is what I like to do, just can you do this, do that, like really easy in and out. Definitely don't want to communicate with your team through email. That's very cumbersome. So WhatsApp is nice, or even Slack. Those are my preferences. And then for my personal management, I just use Trello, just like little post-it notes. I keep it simple because I know if I make it complicated, I won't follow up with my own tasks. And I've taught my team, you have to remind me 30 times to like finish something. So they manage, in a lot of ways, they manage me instead of me managing them. Because I'll forget to do something over and over again. I'll be busy or just not want to do it. So it's really, really helpful when the VA gets to know you and your style and your pace. And then comes a part of, well, when does the VA work? For some people, their tasks are really time sensitive. So the VAs work in their time zone, which is totally doable. There's some VAs that love to work at nighttime, their time, daytime in the US. And so Jona, for example, works her own hours. So I talk to her in my mornings and my evenings. But my other VAs like Jenny and Joyce, they work my daytime hours in the morning, my mornings and into midday. And so they're with me when I'm working. So I kind of, it's not 24 hours, but I have VAs almost all the time doing something, which is kind of cool. I could hand tasks off from one to the other. Or I give Jonah a bunch of work before I go to bed and then I wake up and then she's completed it, which is kind of cool. So if it's not as time sensitive, they can work in their time zone. If it is, they can work in your time zone. And then we have all of our VAs on a Slack channel. So if one of them can't figure out how to complete a task, a technology task of some kind, somebody else can teach them. So we have a body of work of videos and content of how to complete every task. And so everyone is training and has this well of information available to them. And then if one VA gets sick or goes down for some reason, we have a team so we could let somebody else take over for a while, which if you're on Upwork, then you got to go look and hire somebody else if your VA is out for a month for some reason. So there's a lot of upsides in hiring a firm that manages it all for you. The downside is it's probably a bit going to be a bit more expensive, but they might end up being the same if you keep losing time trying to hire someone else, or they go down, or they don't know how to complete a task. So most of our clients have stayed with us for a very long time. And they even add hours to their VAs because they realize how useful they are as the business grows. So, my goal, if I ever work one on one with somebody and I'm helping them grow their thing, is that they make more money than they spend. That should be happening over time. If you're not, then there's something wrong with the business or the relationship. It's just not a good fit. But you should be making money by investing in the growth of whatever you're creating. Or maybe it's not time yet, or you've got to restructure something. So, all that being said, when I left Hawaii, I've shared this in previous episodes, and I was poor and I wanted to start my own thing online. I had no idea what to do. I started hiring virtual help to help me grow. And it took me a long time. And I went through a lot of people. Most of the time, it was my fault because I didn't know how to manage and create. But eventually, I got to a place where I started to understand the path and I figured it out, what I needed. And I found the pace that worked for me. And I built a team around me that was really proficient, efficient, and just on energetically on board. So they have to be in alignment with you and the work that you do. So I feel incredibly lucky to have all these amazing people and to also help Jona create her New Year's resolution of creating this company that's now growing and helping so many creators. So it's pretty amazing. I will leave a link in the description. If you want some VA help, feel free to send us a message and see what happens. All right, that's all for this one. Thanks for being here with me. I will see you soon. Enjoy yourself.